She mentioned that I wasn't permitted to head to the fitness center any longer because women gaze at me there. I replied, got it. So I constructed a private workout space in my fresh residence that she had no clue about. The relocation vehicle she spotted just 3 days afterward. Initial post. I, 31-year-old guy, have been dating Jessica, 29, for 4 years, cohabiting for 2. What began as sporadic envy evolved into outright dominance that I somehow accepted as normal until the previous month. The fitness center issue wasn't even the initial warning sign. Reflecting now, there were plenty. She'd inspect my phone during my sleep, force me to remove female colleagues from social platforms, became furious if the store clerk at the supermarket grinned at me excessively. But 3 weeks prior, she reached a fresh extreme. I'd been attending the identical gym for 6 years. It's my way to unwind, my habit, my approach to preserving mental well-being. I'm in reasonable form, not a muscle enthusiast, merely fit. But evidently, that became an issue. Jessica, I stopped by your fitness spot today. Me, oh really? To observe what you're truly up to there. And I noticed those females eyeing you. Eyeing me. I was likely just in their view. Don't manipulate me, Derek. They were gawking. That fair-haired one was nearly salivating. Jess, I don't even recognize whom you're describing. Naturally you do. You probably relish the notice. I was drained. This marked the 3rd dispute over the gym that week. You know what? You're forbidden from going anymore. What? You caught that? No more fitness center. If you wish to work out, perform push-ups indoors. I'm not letting my partner strut around for needy females. I gazed at her. For years. For years of gradually contracting my existence to dodge her outbursts. Pals I'd ceased visiting. Interests I'd abandoned. King gatherings I'd missed because she'd sense unease. You're in earnest? Utterly earnest. Pick the gym or me. Something within me simply altered, like a toggle switching. For years of piled-up weariness solidified into absolute insight. Me comprehended. She grinned, content. Excellent. I figured you'd align with my view. But she misconstrued. I wasn't consenting to cease gym visits. I was finished with the domination. Update 1. That evening, as Jessica dozed, I positioned myself in our restroom with my notebook computer and began strategizing. Initially, I required clarity on my legal and monetary status. The residence agreement bore both our signatures, but I covered 80% of the payments. We maintained separate banking profiles. Fortunately, I declined that merger. My vehicle was solely mine, hers remained hers. No offspring, unmarried. I possessed roughly $11,000 in reserves. Not a windfall, but sufficient. The following morning, Jessica departed for her job. She's an admin at a dental clinic, shifts from 9 to 5. I notified my employer of illness. I'm a coordinator for initiatives at a technology firm, capable of remote operations as required. Then I commenced seeking new housing. Located a spot that very day. Not luxurious, but adequate. Single-room unit in a building complex roughly 15 minutes distant. Flexible monthly rental choice offered. $1,400 monthly. The highlight, it featured a spacious alcove suitable for workout gear. I finalized the agreement that afternoon. Occupancy commencement, 3 days ahead. Subsequent task, exercise apparatus depot. Acquired the essentials. Weight rack, $800. Barbell and weights, $600. Versatile hand weights, $300. Seating bench, $200. Second-hand running machine, $400. Overall expenditure, around $2,300. Shipping arranged to the novel location. That night, Jessica returned home griping about her colleague. I acknowledged, prepared supper, behaved routinely. She remained unaware I'd just secured housing and procured a domestic workout setup. Jessica, observe how pleasant this is. Solely us, without fitness center conflicts. Perhaps we ought to establish a shared banking setup. Merge all assets. Me? We'll discuss it subsequently. Jessica, additionally, your buddy Tommy rang earlier. I informed him you were occupied. He socializes excessively regardless. Tommy had phoned to celebrate my advancement. But I merely nodded. Me comprehended. Update 2. Day 2 of the strategy. Jessica headed to employment. I attended my duties. On relocating my existence. Leased a storage space. Began transferring my vital possessions during her absences. Papers, prized objects, select attire, items she wouldn't promptly detect absent. My supervisor was supportive when I shared needing personal hours. Take whatever duration required, Derek. You've appeared tense recently. That afternoon, I visited our building's administrative hub. Me. I must address detaching myself from the agreement. Administrator. That demands mutual consent or a penalty for termination. What if I located a replacement for my share? That might suffice. They'd require vetting and your shared occupant must approve. Ideal. I already envisioned a candidate. Jessica's acquaintance Melanie had mentioned seeking a cohabitant post-separation. Jessica would likely embrace that notion. In time. That evening. Jessica, you've been subdued of late. Merely fatigued. Not slipping off to the fitness center, correct? Partly humorous, partly earnest. Me, no fitness center. Splendid. Oh, I informed my mother we'd drop by this weekend. Her mother mirrored her traits. Directed her spouse's actions relentlessly. The fellow couldn't view sports without clearance. Me, unable this weekend. Occupational task. Jessica, you perpetually devise reasons to evade my relatives. It's a major cutoff. All right, but forthcoming weekend, no pretexts. Me, comprehended. She remained oblivious, there'd be no forthcoming weekend. Update 3. Relocation day. Jessica exited for work at 8:30 a.m., lamenting that I'd overlooked brewing her brew. I expressed regret, pecked her farewell, and paused precisely 10 minutes prior to the transport van's arrival. I'd engaged haulers for efficiency, instructed them precisely on my belongings. My workstation and computing array, my garments and private effects, culinary tools I'd purchased, my screen from prior to our meeting, my volumes, entertainment device, etc. Abandoned all that belonged to her, or jointly. Even abandoned the brew appliance, a present from her mother. The haulers operated swiftly. 2 hours, all packed. I conducted a concluding inspection, positioned a note on the kitchen surface, and placed my access keys beside it. The note was straightforward. Jessica, you instructed me to select between the fitness center and you. I select neither. I select liberty. I've detached myself from the agreement, settled my share through next month. Melanie expresses interest in assuming my position if you desire a cohabitant. Refrain from reaching out. I'll be restricting your contact. I extend good wishes, but I'm finished with the domination. Derek P.S. I assembled a domestic workout area. No needy females eyeing me there. Proceeded to my novel abode. The haulers offloaded all. My exercise apparatus had been delivered the prior day. Devoted the afternoon to organizing my renewed existence. At 5:47 p.m., my device erupted. 28 rings in 10 minutes. Messages varying from what on earth to you're psychologically unwell to kindly return, we can converse. I captured images of all, then restricted her contact. Then the intermediaries appeared. Her sibling Caitlin. How could you simply forsake her? Her mother. Genuine males don't flee from challenges. Her companion Melanie. Frankly, Derek, I comprehend, but perhaps offer her further opportunity. Restricted. Except Melanie, I responded. The space is open if you desire it. Identical rental division she insisted upon from me. 80 to 20. Wait, she required you to cover 80%? Among various demands. Best of fortune. Update 4. Day 4 in the novel abode. Absolute quiet. Exquisite. I'd restricted Jessica across all platforms, but I anticipated the turmoil. It manifested via my occupational correspondence. Derek, given you've deserted me abruptly and restricted me universally, like an immature individual, I'm compelled to reach you via your business channel. Your conduct is harmful and psychologically erratic. Departing a 4-year bond over my request to avoid the fitness center? You require substantial aid. I've sought legal counsel. Your actions constitute monetary harm. You are indebted to me. 50% of rental for lease violation. $2,800. Psychological turmoil. $5,000. My efforts squandered. $10,000. Should you fail to reply in 48 hours, I'll pursue judicial measures. Moreover, I recognize you'll return pleading. Individuals like you invariably do. You can't endure solitude. Upon return, the stipulations will be partnership therapy. You cover? Unified banking profile. Total openness. No fitness center indefinitely. Restricted interaction with your harmful kin. Credential exchange on all gadgets. This remains mandatory. Jessica. I relate it to my private correspondence, then responded from my business profile. Jessica, this constitutes my occupational channel. Kindly cease contacting me here. Concerning your stipulations. 1. I settled my rental share through next month. 2. You lack lawful basis for claims. We're concluded. My firm's juridical unit has been informed of your persecution via enterprise routes. Derek. Copied HR and my superior. They were displeased. An individual was tormenting an associate via work correspondence. Then emerged the desperate outburst. Discovered that phrase from my counselor afterward. She appeared at my workplace structure. Guards denied her entry absent scheduling. She created such disruption, they warned of summoning authorities. She visited my fitness center. Indeed, the one she'd prohibited me from. Yelling about my probable presence there with some harlot. They nullified her visitor atches. Forever. She rang my mother weeping. Mother hadn't been aware of the dominance matters, as Jessica invariably appeared charming. Mother attended for roughly 5 minutes before Jessica stated, "He's prohibited from the fitness center because females I am." Prohibited? He's an adult male. Jessica, you fail to grasp. I must safeguard my possession. He's not an object, darling. You alienated him from me. This stems from your influence. Mother disconnected, phoned me chuckling. Derek, what manner of person did you court for 4 years? But the finest element occurred a week subsequently. 5. Jessica's companion Melanie contacted via image sharing site. Melanie, hello, I realize you likely prefer no association with Jess's circle, but deemed you ought to learn certain details. Me, I'm attentive. Initially, she's informing all you suffered a psychological collapse and forsook her groundlessly. But I discerned the reality. She's executed this previously. What? Her prior partner before you. Craig? Identical scenario. She dominated him until he erupted and departed. She informed all he was the aggressor. I trusted her then, not presently. Additionally, she's been messaging her Brandon across your whole bond. Nothing corporeal, but assuredly sentimental infidelity. Throughout your entire duration, while indicting you of desiring alternatives. She forwarded captures. For years of Jessica lamenting me to Brandon, labeling me dull and feeble, while Brandon deemed her attractive and superior to him. Me, why disclose this? Melanie, because I accepted the space, and coexisting with her for 1 week revealed all. She attempted dictating my guest timings, insisted I cover 80% as I earn more, fumed when I attended stretching sessions because evenings should be shared. Melanie, I'm vacating month's end, secured alternate lodging. She remains unaware. Best wishes. Oh, and Derek, she enrolled in your fitness center, the one she barred you from. She's present daily now, attired as if heading. She's my former. I relocated 3 weeks past. She's persecuting me. Jessica, we didn't conclude. He merely vanished. He's undergoing psychological turmoil. I displayed the officer the note I'd positioned, messages seeking funds, the occupational correspondence, all. Officer, madam, you must depart, return, and face detention. This is outrageous. Derek, inform them. I hold no words for you. They guided her away. I initiated a protective mandate Monday morning. Update 7. The protective mandate proceeding was revealing. Jessica arrived attired as for worship service. Modest attire, subtle cosmetics, tresses secured, aiming for the blameless sufferer appearance. Her contention to the magistrate. I forsook her abruptly. Untrue. I left documentation. I appropriated communal assets. Untrue. Took solely mine. She worried for my psychological state. Certainly. That's why she assaulted my entrance. She never dominated me. My proof. Captures of messages mandating no gym attendance. Occupational correspondence with her fund requests. Guard recordings from my structure of her striking my entrance. Testimonial from Paul. Call logs displaying 127 rings and 3 days post-departure. The magistrate regarded Jessica. Madam, did you instruct him he was barred from the fitness center? That's misconstrued. Females were eyeing him. Thus you did? Bonds demand concessions. Concessions are reciprocal. Domination is unilateral. Protective mandate approved. No interaction for 1 year. Jessica commenced weeping, not sorrowful, enraged. Jessica, this constitutes bias. He influenced you. Magistrate, madam, persist and face disdain. Her mother attended, rose and gestured at me. You ruined my child. Madam, reseat or exit. They exited furiously, but not before Jessica uttered audibly for all. He'll return. Feeble males invariably return. It's been 2 months now, the protective mandate active. Via indirect channels. I learned. Melanie vacated. Jessica couldn't sustain rental solo. She relocated to Parenta. She's my former. I relocated 3 weeks past. She's persecuting me. Jessica, we didn't conclude. He merely vanished. He's undergoing psychological turmoil. I displayed the officer the note I'd positioned, messages seeking funds, the occupational correspondence, all. Officer, Madam, you must depart, return, and face detention. This is outrageous. Derek, inform them. I hold no words for you. They guided her away. I initiated a protective mandate Monday morning. Update 7. The protective mandate proceeding was revealing. Jessica arrived attired as for worship service. Modest attire, subtle cosmetics, tresses secured, aiming for the blameless sufferer appearance. Her contention to the magistrate. I forsook her abruptly. Untrue. I left documentation. I appropriated communal assets. Untrue. Took solely mine. She worried for my psychological state. Certainly. That's why she assaulted my entrance. She never dominated me. My proof. Captures of messages mandating no gym attendance. Occupational correspondence with her fund requests. Guard recordings from my structure of her striking my entrance. Testimonial from Paul. Call logs displaying 127 rings and 3 days post-departure. The magistrate regarded Jessica. Madam, did you instruct him he was barred from the fitness center? That's misconstrued. Females were eyeing him. Thus you did? Bonds demand concessions. Concessions are reciprocal. Domination is unilateral. Protective mandate approved. No interaction for 1 year. Jessica commenced weeping, not sorrowful, enraged. Jessica, this constitutes bias. He influenced you. Magistrate, Madam, persist and face disdain. Her mother attended, rose and gestured at me. You ruined my child. Madam, reseat or exit. They exited furiously, but not before Jessica uttered audibly for all. He'll return. Feeble males invariably return. It's been 2 months now, the protective mandate active. Via indirect channels. I learned. Melanie vacated. Jessica couldn't sustain rental solo. She relocated to Parenta. Home. She was dismissed from the dental clinic for excessive absences, likely pursuing me. She's informing all I was the oppressor, and she fled. She's on pairing applications with a profile about enduring egotistical harm. Meanwhile, I'm flourishing. Shed 10 pounds of tension mass, unaware I bore it. Advanced in occupation, able to concentrate, sans daily turmoil. Re-established bonds with associates I'd been segregated from. Commenced counseling to comprehend my tolerance. Achieved personal record on weight lift in my private gym. My counselor clarified it as typical domineering conduct that intensified gradually. The fitness center matter was merely the concluding burden, shattering my refusal. Final update. 6 months elapsed. Deemed I'd provide one concluding report. Last week I encountered Craig, Jessica's predecessor. Casual meeting at an athletic tavern. He identified me initially. Derek? You're Jessica's, formerly Jessica's. Me, predecessor. You're Craig, correct? Indeed. I'll purchase you a beverage. I suspect we share much discourse. We conversed for 3 hours. His narrative mirrored eerily. Commenced with minor envies, progressed to domineering actions. She segregated him from companions/kin. The concluding burden was her insistence he resign employment due to his attractive female superior. He departed. She portrayed victim, informed all he was the aggressor. Craig. Required 2 years of counseling to accept I wasn't deranged. Me. The fitness center seems nearly mild versus resigning employment. It's never regarding the fitness center or employment. It's regarding domination. Total domination. He displayed something intriguing. A social network assembly. Survivors of Jessica Morrison. Evidently not authentic name, but 5 males therein, all akin tales. The sequence is identical. Affection overload initially, gradual segregation, escalating mandates, volatile conclusion when they ultimately refused. Reputation ruined subsequently. One fellow, Mitchell, she courted in university. She'd compelled him to abandon his brotherhood, as those fellows promoted infidelity. Another, Roberto, she'd coerced to vend his two-wheeler as it's overly hazardous. Truly, as females admired it. The most youthful, James, merely 22 during their courtship. She was 27. She'd persuaded him to decline an award to remain proximate. He fortunately disregarded and departed for university regardless. We aligned observations. Identical expressions, identical maneuvers, identical sobs, identical menaces. It resembled courting identical individual. Because we had. Craig. The true surprise? I encountered her last month. She attempted claiming Derek, you, had oppressed her, that she scarcely evaded with vitality. Me, what did you respond? Craig, not. Merely chuckled and departed. She shrieked behind that I remained resentful. The assembly proved healing oddly, recognizing it wasn't solely me, that I wasn't feeble or foolish, that she was a hunter who'd honed her method. Final note, Melanie contacted yesterday. Jessica's betrothed, encountered a fellow via network, affection overloaded him. Betrothed in 4 months, he's already seized his leisure golf circuit as she requires him domestic. Melanie, shall we alert him? Would you have heeded if alerted? Valid observation. The fellow will discern. Or he won't. Not my concern henceforth. My private workout zone is finalized now. Incorporated a pulley system and superior surfacing. Exercise whenever desired. Occasionally at 5 a.m., occasionally at midnight. No one eyes me save my mirror image. And he's merely satisfied with my progress. The liberty is exhilarating. I can encounter any companion anytime, travel anywhere sans justification, view any content, consume any fare, converse with any soul, reside my true existence. I'm courting lightly, nothing committed. Shared Jessica tale with one female on our 3rd outing. She stated my predecessor mirrored but roles reversed. Compelled me to abandon my reading circle as males might approach. We chuckled over it. Then she uttered something deep. Dominators can't grasp we departed for liberty, not for another. Their self-image can't absorb their unworthy of endurance. Precisely. To any perusing this in a kin plight, the fitness center, the reading circle, the companions, the employment, whatever they're attempting to seize from you, it's not regarding that element. It's regarding domination. And it solely intensifies the relocation vehicle they observe withdrawing. That's not surrender. That's triumph. Liberty is the supreme workout venue. No dues needed.